Hey guys, I'm here today to give you the rundown of the latest show that I attended in the city of Toronto. Enslaved, co-headlining tour with Insomnium, with guests Black Anvil. 3 great reasons to attend this tour. Black Anvil was my discovery of 2022. They released Regenesis Top 10 Album of the Year. Great band, great live band. Then you have Insomnium, the masters of quality and setting the bar with every single release. These guys only get better. They're like a fine wine. They get better with age. And then last but not least, the Progressive Vikings themselves, Enslaved. So 3 great reasons, 3 very different reasons to go and see this show, to go and see this tour. Now, if you're not sure where they're playing, on when they're playing, all the tour dates are going to be in the description of this video, so check that out. Maybe there's one date near you and you have an opportunity to purchase a ticket and go see them. I don't think you're going to regret it, but if you're on the fence and you're not sure, I'm going to give you a little bit of a rundown of what to expect from all 3 bands, starting off with Black Anvil. Now, this was the second time that I've seen Black Anvil live. First time I saw them, they were on tour with Cannibal Corpse and Dark Funeral. And then and now, a band that brings a lot of intensity, a lot of energy to the stage. They almost have more of a New York City hardcore style setup in terms of how their stage presence is and the energy that they bring than anything else. I think you can take a band out of New York, you cannot take the New York out of the band, and Black Anvil is that perfect example of just that. Tons of energy, tons of swag, they know what they want to do, they know how to do it. They care about what fans see in them, but I think they care a lot more about who they are as artists and the bar that they set for themselves as far as live performances are concerned. I always enjoy watching them. I enjoy watching them the first time that I saw them. I enjoyed watching them today. They're just one of those bands that you have just so much to take in. It's the music, it's the lyrics, it's the energy, is what's going on stage, is what each and every single one of them is giving the performance. And when it comes to the set list, they're playing the new record, which is a record that I would be more than happy to listen to from front to back if that's what the set list that they put together. It has great quality. So I honestly feel if you go see them on this run and you've never heard of Black Anvil before, it's okay, because they're playing new songs. You get to jump on the bandwagon at this point in time, but at this point in time with a great album that allows you to connect with them almost immediately. So the fact that you can pick up the new record, listen to the new record live, I mean, that's a really great thing to do. It's a really 1 + 1 = 2 kind of thing that allows you to see where they are and then build upon that as you move forward. Either go back into discography or just sit tight and wait for when the next record drops. So Black Anvil, great band, great energy. I feel like they're one of those bands that's just consistent. It doesn't matter if you see them on a Monday, Sunday, Wednesday, if one guy has the flu, whatever. They're always going to give you 110%, and that's the vibe that I get from them, and that's the vibe that I've gotten from them every single time that I've seen them. Next comes Insomnium. Now, I know this is a co-headlining tour, but they've made the decision that Insomnium comes second in the night, and then Enslaved actually caps off the evening. Both bands have the same amount of time allotted to them, which is around an hour. Both bands are playing 10 songs. So it doesn't really matter which one comes first, but they've made the decision to go with this lineup, with this set lineup for the whole tour versus, you know, crisscrossing and interchanging from night to night. I feel that it adds a little bit more consistency, at least for the band, when you're on the road, knowing exactly what time is your sound check and what time you're going on stage. I would rather do this than constantly changing night in and night out, so I totally get it where they're coming from. So Insomnium are playing predominantly the last 2 records, Anno 1696 and Heart Like a Grave. They're playing 5 songs from the new record, 3 songs from the previous album. Technically both albums are new because they haven't toured in North America with any of those albums because of the pandemic. And then they're playing a couple of songs from 2 different records, older records, but classic tracks from Insomnium. They're just forced to play them. They cannot play those songs. That would be a fucking riot. So I honestly really enjoyed this set because I've seen Insomnium before live, so I was more interested in hearing the new material than old material, just for the simple fact that I haven't heard that new material live, and I want to see how that would work. I want to see what kind of energy those songs bring, and I was impressed. Now, I don't know if it's the new material, I don't know if the band has a extra pep on their step because they haven't been in North America for a very long time. They haven't toured for a very long time. So there's a lot of elements that are perhaps driving the experience that I had today. Maybe it was the fact that we all went to the Hockey Hall of Fame before the show. Maybe that was the case. Or maybe it was because they spent a lot of time with me today and that got them energized for the night ahead. I would like to believe that that's the case. I'm not sure it is. But whatever the case might be, this was a different performance by Insomnium. Neil was a lot more vocal in his interactions with the audience. The performance felt brighter, lighter, even though the music, it's not always necessarily brighter and lighter. It just felt more organic. It felt more natural. It felt like they were enjoying being on stage as much as everybody else was enjoying them, seeing them on stage. And I think that's a very important thing. It doesn't always come across in a live performance. Sometimes you're not quite sure how much the band is really enjoying doing what they're doing. They're saying that they are, but you're not quite sure because it's hard to tell from the physical appearances. You can't read between the lines. Sometimes the lines are a little bit blurred. But tonight, I could tell that they were having as much fun, if not more fun, than everybody else that was enjoying their performance. So, great evening, great show, not expecting anything less from them. This is the bar for me as far as Insomnium live shows. This is the best performance that I've seen from them. The more organic, the more natural, the more loose, the more vibrant, the more energetic, even though, like I said, it's not like their music is super energetic, it's very melancholic. But the energy that they had really allowed the songs to have maybe a little bit different life. And then obviously playing the new tracks from the 2 latest records, that to me was really important that they did that, and I'm glad that they did that so that we could get to hear these songs sooner rather than later. So really good set, really good choice. The only thing I could say is I could listen to them instead of an hour, 2 hours, so I could hear more songs. But considering the time slot that they have, considering the time allotted to them, I feel like they picked the 10 perfect songs for the evening. Now, they're going to be playing some headlining shows during this tour, so check them out on those shows because the set list is going to be a little bit deeper on those. Now, last but not least, you get Enslaved. Now, Enslaved are picking songs from 5 different records. Insomnium did 4. These guys are doing 5, but they're concentrating the top songs from the 2 last records. That's where the majority of the tracks lie, specifically the last album, Heimdall. It makes sense too. They haven't toured on those 2 records in North America, so it makes sense that when they're picking songs, they're perhaps concentrating a little bit more there versus somewhere else. It's not like they take, I mean, they have a very deep discography. They've been around for a very long time, so they have a lot of music to choose from. So you have to be critical and analytical when you're picking songs, when you're picking tracks. I honestly feel for the same reasons as Insomnium. If you have new records, you haven't toured on those records, you haven't played shows in North America since you released those records, you kind of have to play songs from those 2 albums. That's one of the reasons why people are coming for the show. I know people always want to hear some older tracks, but they also want to hear the new music, and you have to promote that same new music. So I'm happy with the choices that Enslaved had as far as the set list is concerned. I think they picked the right songs from the right album, specifically the latest 2 records. So I wasn't expecting something and got something else. I felt like they were exactly where I was expecting them to be. Now, I'm not a huge Enslaved fan, so their set, because of the nature of their music, feels a little bit longer than Insomnium, but it's the same thing. And the crowd in Toronto, I can't speak for other places, but the crowd in Toronto really enjoyed Enslaved. They were energized by their performance. I think the band was taken back by how energetic the crowd was and how much into it they were. I'm not sure who walked away feeling better about the evening. If the fans walked away feeling better because they really loved what Enslaved gave them, or if Enslaved walked away feeling better because they were blown away by how much love they got from the crowd. Maybe it's a 50-50, or maybe it's a little bit of both, but it is definitely a night that's going to stay in the memories of both fans and band because the energy was there. By the way, the Opera House, if not sold out, nearly sold out, was a packed place. You couldn't move around. It was just absolutely jam-packed with people, both the main floor and the upper balcony, which doesn't happen very often unless it's a very packed show, like a near sold out or sold out show. So it was definitely a great night with 3 great bands, great venue, one of the best venues in Toronto for metal shows, great crowd, as far as the energy was concerned. There were pockets of energy here and there. The pit was lit, the pit had energy, the pit had movement. So overall, I feel like this was a great night by everybody, from fans to bands to promoters to everybody who put this show together. So once again, check out the dates in the description of this video. See if there's one near you. Pick up some tickets, buy some merch while you're at it, and go see a great night of metal. I'll see you all at the next video.